All right. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? We want to first make sure that this is coming in nice and strong.
What's up? What's up?
Yes. Nice. Okay. So we rolling. We rolling.
My mic is working tonight.
What's going on, everybody? Hopefully your day has been going well. This has been an interesting past couple of days. So, guys, we got quite a few things to touch on this evening. We're not going to be too long. I promise you. With this one, we're not going to be too long. It's already 9:30 something.
Every time we say that, we are long-winded. We got to say we're going to be in here for the long haul, and then it'll be short.
But we're going to see how the participation and everything goes, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
But first things first. Oh, hold on. What's going on, everybody? This is Twin Flames Unite, and we are at it again. And if you don't know by now, I'm Chris.
And I'm Leisha.
What up? What's going on, y'all? All right, we got that out the way. One of the things I wanted to give a shout out real quickly to our new Patreon members.
We do got some new Patreon members.
Yes, and right now we have quite a few people that joined, and so we greatly appreciate it. For those of you who are joining on, y'all are getting access to some exclusive videos where we're going to be diving deep into some topics. Just keep an eye out for our Patreons. We'll have another video probably up tomorrow or Tuesday. But if you want to see the exclusive before everybody else does, head over to Patreon. Right. But you want to give a shout out to those Patreons that just joined, those three?
Empathetic Butterfly, Vern L, and M for Lachite.
Are you saying that right? Let me see this.
Listen, okay, I'm not.
It's malachite.
There we go. That's what it is. See, that's. I guess they meant that to be an A, not a 4.
Yeah.
Okay, malachite. There you go. See, he's smarter than me. He's a smart one. So yeah, malachite, Vern, and empathetic butterfly. Big up to our Patreons. We really do appreciate your support.
Yes.
And it really does encourage us to come on here and share, and be with y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And so for those of y'all who are in, definitely.
And share.
Okay, just double checking that. All right. So today, today is a very special day, if y'all haven't noticed. And it's a special day not because of certain religious traditions, but more on an energetic level of the significance of today. Because today is a celebration, whether it's just a matter of understanding what exactly are you celebrating and what's connected to it. Mm-hmm. So I want to start off by saying, just in case if nobody has officially said this, you no longer have to petition or have somebody else petition for you to speak to higher sources. You no longer have to attend services or mass in order to get access to higher sources. Mm-hmm. You no longer have to give up your time and energy in order to get a connection to source. From this moment forward, you have direct access to source.
You always had it. You always had it. You always had it.
I'm just saying this to be official. What is up? Is that Daquan? I'm sorry, my vision. Dejanique. What's up, Dejanique?
I got a name right.
There you can see. You better than me. This English language, boy.
We got Binti 2020. What's up, family? Our family's coming in the building. What's up, y'all?
Yes. All right. And so I was trying to wait for y'all, but we kind of just went in. So I'm gonna rewind just a little bit, but just in case if nobody has officially said this to you, you can no longer go from this point on saying that you didn't know. Mm-hmm. But from this moment forward, you no longer have to tie yourself to any religious faction in order to have access to source. Mm-hmm. And I mean that in the Christian sense, in the Islamic sense, yes, even in the Ifa sense. Okay. Now, these are all systems, and these systems all have their esoteric and exoteric teachings that are available in order to help ascend and also help in transmuting yourself into the highest version of yourself. But it's not necessary that you tie yourselves to these organizations, because you now have official access to source, to the higher beings, and all of those things. You can do that freely. Now, these other factions can help you as far as guiding you and developing yourself and really helping to think abstractly, but they're not necessarily needed in order for you to speak to source.
Mm-hmm. Or for you to ascend, or for you to grow spiritually. Mm-hmm. These were just some of the lies that we were told and we believed, one of the biggest things. And, once you have really come into your own gnosis, right? Mm-hmm. You start asking certain questions. Like, one of the biggest questions about today is, it's real simple, right? And the question is, hey, so if, Jesus died, Yahshua, whatever, died on Friday, right? They call it a Good Friday. Someone is really murdered and the blood is shed, but it's a Good Friday, whatever. So that's a Good Friday. And then 3 days after, you celebrate the resurrection. He is risen, which is supposed to be today, right? Mm-hmm. Doesn't really add up, because Friday, right? Saturday, Sunday, that's 2 days. So technically, that's necromancy, because the person is still dead.
Still dead.
So if you're worshiping somebody or an entity or whatever that's still dead, you're taking part in necromancy, whether you like it or not. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just saying, I didn't make these rules. This is just what is, right?
Yeah.
So that's just one of the things about the whole Easter thing, to me, that doesn't really add up. Mm-hmm. It's the math ain't mathin'.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. And so let's also put this on the record. We're gonna put it on tape, just like Bobby would say. We're gonna mm-hmm. document this, because we can't, where we're going right now, for those who are really on their journey, this is something that just has to be understood, and we just have to know. So right now, I'm just going to break down real briefly, because I'm pretty sure you all have seen it. Because, hear me, I'm thinking I'm being brilliant today when I made when I put the post up about Ishtar. And it's like the floodgates just open with posts on that today. Right. So I'm saying this to say that I'm pretty sure that a lot of you already know this, but for those who are not in the know, let's break it down real quickly. What's the whole significance about Easter? There's 2 levels to Easter. The first one is the celebration of the resurrection of the sun. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we're not talking about Jesus Christ of Saint Latter-day Saints or whatever it is. We're talking about Ra. We're talking about the big light bulb. Nope, I'm sorry, the big star that's in our solar system that is shining light to our world, that is giving life and brings the trees and the flowers to life, and it helps heat our body up and make this realm that we live on hospitable. Okay, so what we're celebrating is the fact that the sun rose again. And it's funny because when you think about the story of Christmas and how we understand that Christmas is really just the whole symbolic, actually, excuse me, not Christmas, but Easter is the celebration of the sun rising on Christmas so that it can go into the spring equinox. And this just came to me while I'm sitting here thinking about it, is that the reason why it took so long to celebrate the rising of the sun is that they had to sit back and wait for a second, like, okay, we know it started rising, but it's still cold out here. So they had to be patient and wait. And it's like, okay, hold on. The grass is starting to grow. Okay, hold on. The leaves are starting to turn green. Hold on, let's just wait one more moment. Let's just wait until the first full moon after the first full moon after the spring equinox. Then we're going to celebrate the rising of the sun.
Every year it changes. And that's another question. Why come it changes every single year? Like if somebody is supposed to have died, right? Like take for instance, my grandma, rest her soul in peace. She died a few days ago, right? Every year that comes around, that's the day that she died. Every year. You know, the day might change, but the date is going to be the same. But when it comes to this whole crucifixion, right? It changes. Sometimes it's in March. Sometimes it's in April. You know, you got to ask yourself these questions. Hey, how come it changes? It changes because this ritual that's done is celebrated, like my baby said, on the first full moon from the equinox.
Yeah, the first Sunday after. Wow, now I'm getting
the first Sunday after the first full moon after the spring equinox.
There you go. That's why people are so fucking confused out here.
Because it changes every year.
Right.
You know? And that's confusing. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. You said a guy died on this particular day, but then why it changes every year? And then you said he rose on the third day, but why are you always doing it on a Sunday? How are you saying he's risen on a Sunday? See, it doesn't really have anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Easter, that's just a facade so that they can actually do their rituals behind closed doors and they give you the eggs to play with, but you don't know why you're playing with the eggs. You don't know what's going on with the eggs and the bunny. Bunnies don't lay eggs. What's up? I'm confused, you know? Yeah. So, but if you really go back and you, and it's right there, the information is not hidden.
No, it's not. It's really not. And actually, and that leads to the second part of what Easter actually is, which is a celebration of the goddess of fertility and love and sex, which is the goddess Ishtar. Okay, and the name has changed. I'm forgetting the Greek name. I know it's in the post that we put on Instagram, but it's really just a celebration of her. It's a celebration of this life that we're experiencing, the blooming of the flowers and things of that nature. And in addition to that, Astara, yeah. And the other thing, definitely want to put out there. Actually, no, I'm not going to put that out there. If you all watch Bobby Hemmett, then y'all probably know the real meaning behind the Easter egg hunt. But if you're not familiar with that, definitely look into it. But if anybody on here wants to know that before we get off this video, then definitely drop a comment and I'll put it in here. But it's one of those things that you have to want to know.
Right. And you know, not for nothing, if you're a Christian and you're taking part in these egg hunts with these Easter eggs, I'm just here to break it to you. You're participating in what you consider or deem to be witchcraft.
Pagan.
Okay? Or pagan. Which only means not a part of the three religions that was created by Constantine and this Council of Nicaea. That's pretty much what that is. You're not a part of the chosen religion.
You're not a part of the ones that just annihilated all the other enemies.
They just kill everybody. They just get rid of everybody. And, you know, and everybody that they got rid of, who was left over, they were considered to be pagan. Okay? That's pretty much what that means. Okay. But if you're doing the egg hunt and you're painting them eggs and you're doing all that stuff with them eggs, I am sorry to break it to you, baby, but you are participating in witchcraft. what you deem to be witchcraft. And all
Right.
that means is which skill you're choosing. Witchcraft, which skill that you're choosing to partake in within this matrix, this construct. Okay? So if you didn't know, now you know. And I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you. Because eggs is something that have been used in for eons in rituals.
Right.
Okay? So if you don't know about these eggs, if you're a Christian and you're watching this video, you probably already cut off anyhow. If you're Christian, you're watching the video from the time I probably say something about the Lord. You're probably not even watching this. But if you stick on for this point in time, it might be because you have some questions about your the system that you were taught. Okay. But yeah, that's if you're doing the whole egg business, it's witchcraft.
Okay. But,
Don't be mad at me. I'm just telling you the truth, okay?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
It's a part of a whole ritual.
Yeah.
But that's aside.
That's aside. We probably have to do a whole video on that one because it goes real deep.
Yeah, we'll do that for our
Patreons, probably.
We'll do that for our Patreons.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to get some insight onto that, to dive a little bit deeper, if you haven't found that information already, which if you haven't found it by now, you're just not looking for it.
Yeah, you probably just don't want to know. You don't want to know.
Because it is so out there that you can stumble upon it and find the information. But anyways, that's one of the things we definitely want to get out on the table when it comes to this. And I wouldn't so much call it a holiday. This is a celebration, okay? Because it's really not something that puts you in the hollow days unless you're going about it, like my baby was talking about, participating it in a way that's not beneficial for you. About a week ago, I put a video out talking about the significance of this day and how the egg is representing of something being birthed. So if you got that video and you took heed to those words, you should have already been planning some things that you wanted to give birth to so that you can utilize that energy and give birth to something new in your own reality.
Exactly. Instead of somebody siphoning your energy and you're partaking in rituals, okay, and unconsciously not really knowing what's happening. You can do this. It's one or two choices here. You can do it consciously. You can be used not knowing, unconsciously. People can be using and ciphering your energy, aka egg hunts, right? Partaking in all of these blood worship, because it is blood worship, you know.
Right.
Whether or not you want to accept that, that's what it is. It's blood sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's what you're celebrating on a Good Friday. You're celebrating blood sacrifice, the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep it real. We grown-ups. So you can either acknowledge what is really taking place. You can decide to utilize that energy for yourself, or you can let some other entities utilize your own energy field. Those are really the two choices.
And that leads to the next part in which we wanted to cover this evening, which is another thing that we really want to get out on the table. You can't say that Chris and Leisha did not tell you this.
We told you.
Okay? We're putting it on the table.
Just like we told y'all about this. And y'all got mad at us. Y'all call us all kind of names, you know what I'm saying?
Ban our videos.
But we told you.
They even just banned another one. Oh my God.
And they just banned another one.
They just took down another one of our videos that we did 2 years ago.
Yeah. And we even told y'all about these things too. That they tie around your earlobes. We told you about that too. Now they have a recall. They have a recall on those things. The blue ones that they be trying to give to everyone. There's a recall on those things because they have discovered, which we already had told y'all, but 3 years ago, that there's, I forgot the name of the particle that's inside of those blue ones.
It's like a fiber type
Some type of fiber thing that goes into your... I'm not even going to say, you know how you inhale and exhale, it goes into the thing you inhale and exhale, because it might say we're giving,
medical information.
Right.
We are not doctors. We are just saying what we know and what we experience.
And what we are reading on their news.
Yeah.
Okay, that's we just telling you, but we're just saying, we come on here and we try to really inspire, give you guys some nuggets so that you can go and do your own research and find your own fulfillment and your own truth and uncover your own mystery. You know, so that's all we try to do. We're not trying to stay your boat, try to tell you how to live. We're just giving you some nuggets. Okay?
But here's the thing. Here's what we're putting on the table. Once and for all, we probably won't say this again, but we will be giving some practical steps on things that you can do towards what I'm about to say, which is that you are your own savior. Look, there's so many things that are going on right now that is trying to tell people otherwise.
Yeah.
So many things to try to hook people back in into certain factions and into different systems. I'm being very careful about the words that I'm choosing right now.
Us like a hawk right now. Just look up the word religion, guys. I mean, it tells you in the words what these things are. Just break the words apart. That's all you got to do. It's real simple. Break the words apart. You look up the root words and then you see religion literally means to shackle and to bind. And then you're going to ask yourself, okay, well, what am I shackling? What am I binding myself to? You know, you see, am I a soul that is here to be free, or am I a soul that is here to be bind and shackled to something?
Right.
You know, look at the origin of things. All of these hollow days, right? All of these things that you celebrate that put you in a trance, you have to ask yourself, why do they always want to put me in a trance? Why?
That's that question.
Why? And then you're in the weekdays. You're in the week of days preparing for the holidays, preparing for the week, you know, the end of the week, the weekend, right? To be put in the days. Why? You gotta ask yourself these questions. That's all that it is. It's a siphoning of energy. And once you can really understand that this is what's taking place, your energy is being siphoned to feed a particular set of things, entities, whatever, beings, then you can wake up to your own power.
Yes.
You can literally take your power back and say, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to take my power back.
Yes.
I realize that I don't need anybody coming in and saving me because I can save myself. You know? We are in these times when the gig is up. You know, the gig is up.
Yeah, the gig is up, and so you are your own savior. And that is actually even further than just religion.
Yeah.
Because there are certain people out here that believe that the aliens are going to come through on their ships. The Pleiadians,
that's another savior complex.
It's a whole nother savior complex. Yeah. But once again, we're putting it on the table so you all cannot come and say Chris and Alicia did not tell us that nobody is going to come save us. That it is my responsibility to save myself. And don't worry, we're not going to leave you hanging because there are some steps in order to go through that. But we're going to get to that. But there's not any aliens that are coming down to do anything. And this has been said quite a few times from a couple of different conspiracy theorists, which is that any UFO that you see in the sky or anyone that comes down on the ground is going to be man-made because it is. To think about highly advanced technology. You know what? Go back and watch The Man Who Fell to Earth. Go back and watch The Man Who Fell to Earth and ask me what type of ship was he in. Check that out.
Yeah.
So just understand these things that you see in the sky. You know what? I'm not closing myself off to say that they don't exist. Of course, I would be stupid to think that a higher intelligence doesn't exist outside of this reality. Hell, I'm not the smartest person in the world, so there's got to be somebody or something smarter than me. But I am going to say this with full 100% certainty that no alien is coming to do anything for me or for you.
Look, Primordial Goddess made a really good point, and I think we should put that up there as
Which
soon
one?
as YouTube makes it available. It says we have all the tools we need to save ourselves, and that is the bottom line of this entire video. If
Right.
you don't take anything else away from this video, Primordial Goddess has put it there, and listen to her. Okay?
Yep.
We have all the tools we need to save ourselves. You ain't never seen no plant on planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, oh, I don't got no my seeds didn't come with the flower. I need to bloom.
Right.
Shoot, I need somebody to bring me something so I could bloom these daffodil flowers, or these gosh, I'm a lavender plant, but I'm blooming, but gosh, my seed just didn't put in something right, so these petals not coming. No.
Like, no, I need to find the purple. Where's the purple?
Right.
To make
I know I see a spaceship coming in here to bring me my flowers so I can bloom. Shoot, it's springtime. No. Because it's already in there to bloom. Everything that we need to blossom, to bloom, to grow, to do what we need to do is already within us. Just like every single seed that is on this planet, we the same.
Already.
We the same. Shoot, as a matter of fact, they did some studies. Plants. Could you believe that our DNA is actually closer? It resembles the plant kingdom more than some animals in our DNA.
I can see that.
So they do photosynthesis.
We do
photosynthesis. Right? They got the if you look at the leaves on the for the plants, they look like our veins in our skin. You know, just it's so similar. So if they are seeds and they grow, and we are literally seeds in our eggs or whatever in our mother's uterus, we already got what we need. Internal and external, we already have everything that we need. The only thing that can prevent us from really fully blossoming is programs. Programs that are here in the matrix or in this construct that is literally designed to prevent you from blossoming.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the only thing that could stop you. It's you. That's it.
That's it. But once again, we're going to put some more stuff out on the table, because there's one other faction. There's another, because it comes in threes. Okay? There's religion. Then there's the aliens. And then there's government systems.
Polytricksters, bloodsuckers.
And the government systems is not just to politicians, it's to government-run school systems.
Oh my gosh, I'm so disappointed.
It is the medical hospitals that regulate what doctors can and cannot do. It is the local governments and governors who say that things should be done a certain way. And we're tying all of that into all of the alphabet boys. They are not gonna come save you. If anything, if they were to come and save you, it would be so that they can enslave you. Let's keep it real. If they come to save you, it is to enslave you.
Yeah, I better come on. You gotta get it together.
Okay.
So my baby already made the video. If you hadn't seen the video, go back and listen to the video. He gave you some really good tips as far as how do you utilize the particular energy that is here right now. How do you utilize it for your own benefit, right? Somebody said it again. We are our own saviors. We have to do our own work. Please put that on there. I'm going to read it again. We are our own saviors. We have to do our own work. And I know it's probably going to have somebody who's going to say we are of the devil. I'm dressed in red, you know. I know it. Somebody who is really not there yet, who is still deep in the program, is going to think that this information is of the devil. But you know what? Hey, we're going to give you some time. There is no judgment on this side. You know, everybody's on different levels of their journey. But for those of you who can grasp what we're saying,
Yep.
Just giving you the nuggets, okay?
And primordial goddess, we're about to jump on that in just a moment, so I'm not going to pull your comment up here just yet, but just know I got it pinned in my head. We're going to jump into that. But yeah, that is... gosh. Okay. So,
yeah,
we made sure that we got that out on the table. And as we said before, we're not going to leave you all out in the dark as to if you don't know how to save yourself, there is a way to actually save yourself. But before we get into that, there's one thing, there's a verse in the Bible, and I can't remember exactly which one, but God has no respect of person. So, when we look at that esoterically, not exoteric like EX, but esoteric ES.
All right, and just Romans 2:11, Romans 2.
Okay, take us to church, sister.
Romans 2:11-16 in the King James version. Go ahead.
Okay, God has no respect of person, and I'm saying this to say is that because there's some people out there who think that some people can't ascend or don't deserve to ascend, or something of that nature, something's blocking them from ascending. But when you look at that verse there, God has no respect of person. And please understand that when we say God as Gnostics, and I'm saying that word on purpose, so hopefully you go and look it up at some point. When we say God, we're not talking about some guy sitting up on the throne in the clouds.
Not the one that be spanking people. Not that one.
We're talking about your higher self. And when God has no respect to person, that means that whatever he does for one, he'll do for another. So just like how somebody else got famous, you can get famous too. And just like how Buddha ascended, how, not all the names are eluding me.
It's the same energy signature.
It's the same energy, but for those who ascended and went to higher realms, they have, just like they were able to accomplish it, you're able to accomplish it as well.
Yes, Sybil, beautiful, the God within. Beautiful. I love it.
Yes. And so with that being said,
before we leave, because I wanted to talk about they call it the 7 deadly sins.
Oh, I was leading up to that.
We in sync. Wanted to talk about the 7 deadly sins, but I'm going to rename it. We're going to rename it. We're going to call it the 7 courses.
7 courses, yeah.
The 7 courses, because the 7 deadly sins, that just sounds so, So, yeah.
You sound like that.
Nobody don't want to deal with that type of energy. So we're going to call it the 7 courses on planet Earth, right? The 7 deadly sins that humans, it's pretty much the hero's journey, if you ask me.
Right.
And at the end of it is pride, which is the one, how they say a pride comes before a fall? We're going to get into that. But I think I should read this to sum up the Easter thingamajiggy.
Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead. Break it down.
Because that's the whole purpose of this video. And y'all all the way in, feel like we Bobby Hemmett right now. We pouring our libations all in the middle of the video.
Y'all all right?
Y'all all right? If y'all listen to Bobby Hemmett, you know what that is. But what we in the video right now, we just 37 minutes. We just telling y'all what Easter is. Okay.
We said it in the beginning, but this is
really tying it all together, okay? So for those of you who are new to our channel, welcome. If we have any Christians aboard, welcome. We love you. We're not judging. This is not to judge anybody or to tear anybody down and stuff like that. Because listen, Christianity is necessary.
It is very necessary.
Okay, all of these religions, even though they're like shackling you to something, it's necessary because some people need that type of limitation. Because if some people don't have that type of limitation, they'll act a fool. Yeah. So you
pressure makes diamonds.
Right. So you go through that school, whatever school that is, until you're able to get to a point where you can be more responsible with information and knowledge. Right. So everything comes to you when it's supposed to. So everything has its purpose. Right.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna go ahead. This is our post for those of you who didn't get our posts. You can go, if you're not following us on Instagram, go ahead and follow us on Instagram. And you guys will see the depiction of the the Ishtar. Pagan goddess Ishtar. Okay, so again, my pronunciation is not always on point, but I'm gonna read through this to the best of my ability. All right, and this is just pretty much breaking down what Easter is. Y'all ready? All right. So on the Easter holiday, Christians celebrate the resurrection of Christ from the dead. We already discovered that they're day short, right? We talked about that in the beginning, right?
Hold on. You remember the saying, a dollar late, dollar short? Something about a dollar.
If y'all know what that saying is, that's what this is. A day late, a dollar short.
There you go.
Okay, that's it. Okay. So on the Easter holiday, Christians celebrate the resurrection of Christ from the dead. Yet, most Christians do not realize that the name Easter is derived from Astara, which is a pagan goddess of spring, fertility, and the rising sun. Okay, whose name comes from the even older name Ishtar, which is a Babylonian, Assyrian goddess of fertility, love, and sex. These goddesses represent fertility, love, and sex at the divine angelic level, not the animal level that humanity is trapped within, the survival nature. The sacred mysteries symbolizes by these goddesses are the gateway to the birth of Christ, right? The Christ within. Without the pure chastity sexuality taught by the vaginal divine mother, the son Christ cannot be born without us to save us. Now we're talking about internal work. Easter symbolizes the return of the son Christ, Apollo, who during winter descends into the underworld, which is our mind, to liberate us from the darkness, right? And upon this return restores light and life to the world, freeing us from the grip of the cold, dark winter, Satan, death, adversaries, whatever. In synthesis, Easter symbolizes real initiation from within, how the soul and then afterwards the Christ is born inside of us. Yep. This is an internal job. It's not nothing looking outside, waiting for something to happen. And being grateful for some type of blood and going into these rituals and drinking this wine and eating this body. And that's, what that represents is heavy. That's some heavy stuff, man. Yeah. Real heavy. You eating somebody's body and drinking their blood. That's some heavy stuff. That's real heavy. Yeah. I wouldn't even you know what I'm saying?
That's the other messed up part is that they're mixing. Okay, I'm on my soapbox for just a moment because when it comes to Easter, this is supposed to be the resurrection, celebrating the resurrection of the Son, right? Jesus. Right. But they go back and they do the whole ritual of drinking the blood and eating the flesh. The blood came from him being actually flogged. From him being flogged. So he's still alive. And eating his body, which means that the flesh that was torn off. I mean, come on, you mixing that with.
And then you call it Good Friday. Now, come on, man. Let's be real.
Let me stop.
I mean, like I said, we never. We just trying to
get me off track.
We just trying to turn this thing over to make it math. Make the math math. The math is not mathing. Not with this situation. Okay. Right. At this point, when you come to this gnosis, this is when you sit down and you ponder and you think about what you've been doing your whole life. If you're ready for that stage. If not, you can go back into the closet and you can pretend like,
never saw it.
You never saw it, and it'll come up again. You get another chance because everybody is not at that brave point. Okay.
Yeah. And I definitely have to touch on that because when it comes to the spiritual journey, it is not easy. There's so many people who have to put it down for a moment. It's like, let me just do some fuckery just for a little bit. Let me balance myself out because this is just way too hard. So have some compassion for yourself because understand that this is not an easy journey to travel, especially when you're in these times that we're in right now because the intensity has been turned up. So definitely have some compassion for yourself and understand that this is not an easy journey. If anybody has ever told you that this is an easy journey, they have lied to you. Okay.
Big time. You're going to lose friends. Listen, let me prepare people who's on their journey, okay? You're going to lose friends. All right? You're going to there's going to be a period of time where you're going to be very alone. Super alone. But alone does not mean that you're lonely.
Right.
All right? This is a time when you go, somebody had mentioned it before about going into the darkness, right? Going into the darkness is going into the depths of your subconscious.
Yep.
To find yourself, because you've been lost. You've been lost. You've been lied to. If you've been lied to, usually your guide, the guidance that you have within is probably turned off and disconnected.
Right.
You have been told what to think your whole life. You've been told how to think your whole life. That's literally like you having an internal GPS. Somebody shuts it off, and then you have to listen to them say, make this right, make this left, go around that corner, stop here, go there. So you're so used to that your internal GPS now is laying dormant. You haven't used it in a while. It's rusty. So now when somebody like us come along and we trying to get that GPS back going, you're going to be like, oh, wait, what? Who, what? Oh, my God. Like, you're going to be kind of taken back. But, you keep going at it. You keep going back at it. Your internal GPS comes back online.
Yep.
You learn to think for yourself again. You're learning how to ask questions. You're learning how to put 1 and 1 together and get 3, and not 1 and 1 and get 2. And I probably lost y'all right there.
That's some abstract thinking.
It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, that's pretty much that's our mission here, is to help y'all on y'all journey, because we know this thing can get lonely sometimes.
Yes. And speaking of that, because once again, we don't want to leave you all hanging and just give you this information, be like, what the hell do we do with this information, Chris and Leisha? Like, how can we apply this to our life? Well, we got you. But before we get into that, definitely we appreciate the donations, because it helps out a lot. It encourages us to keep going and make more videos, because right now, believe me, we had some other things that we had planned, but we were like, nope, our people want this video. We got to stop and do this video. So please show your appreciation by giving the donations via Cashapp, or if you want to, you can actually join our Patreon, because for what we're about to touch on right now is really just an overview of some things that we're going to go into more depth into on the Patreon channel, because and it's not so much of worrying about being censored, okay? It's more about putting the information on Patreon, because, and it's not a lot, it's what, like $11 or something like that, a monthly fee. That's very, very, let me not downplay us. That's a lot.
It's generous. It's generous for everybody.
And for the amount of information that's being shared. But it's not so, once again, it's not about the money. It's more about the energy exchange, but it's also for those who are really serious.
Right.
Because we are done with throwing pearls to swine. Okay.
We did a lot of that since we've been on YouTube. A lot of that. Yeah, we're not doing that anymore.
And please, if
if
that statement kind of rubs you the wrong way, it's just a sign you still got some work to do. So hopefully you don't feel we still love you. But we're just saying it's a small investment in yourself, because the information that we're going to be dropping is life changing. It has changed our lives, and that's one of the reasons why we kept all of our old videos up until this point, from the crappy audio to all the other stuff. You can see the transition. We are not the same on video 1 as we are today.
Yeah.
Okay.
William Murphy said, still with y'all. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, William. And listen, I want to answer this question right here.
Which one?
Oh, I want to add something to this. Primordial goddess, right? She said something really important. She said, and they say crystals and cards are demonic, right? Got something for you. Okay. So as far as the crystals and cards, right? I know the crystals for sure. It's interesting how some people can say that crystals are demonic, right? Because in Revelations 21:19 through 20, it says here, the first course of stones was jasper, the second sapphire, the third, how you say this, chaldony, the fourth emerald, the fifth sardonyx, the sixth carnelian, the seventh. Okay, you get where I'm going here. And amethyst also. These are the stones that they're gonna build heaven with. This is the New Jerusalem.
That's in Revelations. Excuse me, Revelation.
Oh, these are the crystals that are gonna be in heaven. So I'm hey, primordial goddess. It's just a matter about doing a little bit of research of your own stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if God is building Jerusalem, New Jerusalem, heaven with all these crystals, I don't think that, he might mind about,
No.
I think it's okay if you use it. Because that's where you about to go live in these crystals.
Yeah.
All these crystals you about to go live in. So it'll be all right. The crystals are okay. Just for people that's on here and they think that crystals are demonic, God made the crystals too, right? And he said it was good. So you're going to be okay. You're going to be all right. It's right here. I'm going to tell you again, Revelations 21:19 through 20, it tells you all the crystals that's going to be in the New Jerusalem. You're welcome.
Yeah. And that's an insight that we're going to jump into in just a moment. Actually, right now. We're about to jump into it right now, okay? Once again, donations are greatly, greatly appreciated. When it comes to the point of you saving yourself, there have been tons and tons of information that has been shared since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Somebody actually put it in the chat. This is the thing that kicked it off for everybody.
Go ahead, William.
Which is what the other part of that was written on the temple wall was, man, know thyself.
Go on, William.
Okay? That's one of the things that we needed to touch on. And one of the let me take this off. Okay. So the things have been taught to us since the very beginning. A lot of it we got in church, to be quite honest for you. It's just that we didn't see the other side of the coin. Okay? Because when you go to church, they show you this one coin, and hell, for the most part, they showing you one side of the coin, but they only showing you a half of that face that they're showing you, and it's a whole nother half
it's
on the back.
It's a whole other side
so,
in the back side you ain't seeing.
But the information that is in there is one that will help save you and help stop a lot of the suffering.
Yeah.
Okay? Because there's so much suffering that we inflict on ourselves. There ain't no devil or anything out there that's doing anything.
You could say that if you want to, make you feel better.
If you want a scapegoat, then you blame it on.
Go on right ahead.
But I tell you right now, he don't like y'all blaming him for stuff, because you like, I ain't do a goddamn thing. I'm just over here chilling. I don't know why they keep saying my name, and I'm just. But they're the ones who picked up the knife. I ain't telling them to pick up the knife.
Right.
You know? He took the drugs. I ain't telling him to take the drugs. Let me stop. But
this is metaphorically, by the way, okay? It's metaphoric.
Yeah. What was I going with that? I got sidetracked.
It's okay, because I just wanted to get us to sum up Easter. So guys, in a nutshell, that's Easter. You can take some of those nuggets if you're new to this type of information. Take the nuggets that we talked about, what Easter really is, and go and do more research, because I promise you, there's so much more to find out about this ritual, okay?
Right.
So much more to uncover.
Yeah.
Now, if this might be a good segue into talking about the courses, the 7 deadly sins.
That's what I was getting into, which is that we have been given the information in order to minimize or eliminate our suffering and actually help us in ascending. And one of them is going into, and look, and I think I had mentioned this before, but I'm gonna come back and come to it again, which is that we have to take a new look with fresh eyes when it comes to Holy Scriptures. And I'm not and I'm not just singling out the Bible, but all of the Holy Scriptures. They have lessons that are within them, but we have to look at them on an esoteric level, on an abstract level. But for this in teaching purposes only, just to keep things simple, we're going to be referring to the Bible right now. Okay, there's information that is in the Bible that can really help you on your ascension path, because there are things that minimize our suffering, and a lot of our suffering comes from the deadly sins. Okay, the 7 deadly sins.
That's right.
And before we go into those 7 deadly sins, let's break down real quickly what exactly is a sin.
You're missing the mark and you're going against yourself.
There you go.
It's not when you're going to get spanked by the white guy with the beard in the sky, not the sky daddy, okay? No, you're going against yourself. You're missing the mark. That's the sin, okay?
Yeah, and they pointed out in the Bible that there are 7 sins that you really need to do your best to stay out of, and we're going to touch on those real briefly for this video.
And I wouldn't necessarily say stay out of.
Okay.
It's a course.
Okay.
So you're going to encounter it. It's not so much what you experience; it's your reaction. It's how you respond to the experience, because you're human, right? You're having a human experience, which means you're dealing with emotions, which is energy in motions every second of the day. So you're going to encounter these 7 courses, right? Unless you just came in as a baby, you took a breath and you're like, not this lifetime, or hell to the nah, you turn back around. But if you stay the course and you at least live to be up until 3, 4, 5, maybe 7, maybe an adult, for the lust, maybe a little older, right? But if you live a good course of your life, you're going to experience these 7 courses. So everybody, it's just some wisdom you got to really pick up. The earlier you can pick up these wisdoms,
the better.
The better. I know my kids, they sick of me. They so sick of me.
They gonna be all right.
They sick of me but right now. But that's because what I'm doing is I use every opportunity that I have to instill them with wisdom, so that when they come across these courses, these 7 deadly courses or these 7 deadly sins, they will be able to react and respond in ways that can actually benefit them. Because don't nobody want to keep repeating kindergarten.
No, they don't want to keep repeating.
You don't want to do it. It's unnecessary. Yeah. You could do it, but it's very unnecessary.
Yeah. So with that being said, this is just a small piece. This goes really deep, and even when we talk about these parts, it's so much more in depth that we can actually go into. But a lot of this, the realization comes when you can actually meditate on it. And actually, as a side note, I'm going to do a video for our Patreons on meditation. There's a whole nother level of meditation that we haven't been tapping into that we need to tap into, and I'll be breaking that down.
Facts.
But the things that we're about to talk about right now is just a small piece of things that can be done in order to minimize our suffering. Okay? And so we're talking about graduating these courses, okay? And let's talk about the first course. What's the first course?
And this is real simple. I know you guys heard about these things before, but breaking it down into everyday life, I think that'll help to kind of shed some light there. There is this recommendation that I will probably going to give to them. You want to tell them now, or you want me to after?
We'll do it at the end. Yeah.
We'll give you a recommendation of this. It's very short. It's on Netflix. It's a short series. 7 episodes, right? Talking about the 7 deadly sins, right? And my baby didn't realize it was talking about the 7 deadly sins until after the last episode.
Yeah, because this was something that I was doing because I was in the middle of retwisting my hair. I was like, let me just put something on and let me watch it. And I just started watching. I was like really intrigued by it. I was like, okay, this.
You know, it's in the cartoon, and they put a lot of stuff in the cartoon versions. But they literally were going through the 7 deadly sins. It literally showed this man going through a course. Yes. That's why I call it the 7 courses.
Yeah.
The first one was wrath. Right? Wrath can happen to any one of us.
Yeah.
We can experience it.
It's anger. It's like, and there's levels to it because, you can be angry when somebody steps on your toe, or you can be angry when somebody kills a loved one.
Right, and there are levels of anger where you're so angry you leave. Like literally, you know how people say, "Oh, I blacked out. I don't even know what happened because I blacked out." That's because you left, and something else in.
Yeah.
You get what I'm talking about?
Yeah. And I love that you say that these are courses because here's the thing, because it's not something that you avoid, okay? The lesson comes when you can feel wrath because, nowadays, so many people are desensitized to actually feeling.
Gosh.
Quick side note, this is something that I've been doing for the past few months now, which is that when I wake up in the morning, I'm driving the kids to school and I'm yawning, I'm still kind of sleepy. And when I yawn, tears come down your face. And normally you just wipe them away. Recently, I was like, nope, I want to feel these tears.
I've been noticing that I'm like, what's going on with him?
I'm just letting it sit instead of just trying to pushing it away. I'm giving the chance to actually feel
it. Yeah.
Okay. And so when we go through these lessons, it's paramount that we feel and experience wrath because we have to know what it is in order to
make it through.
Right. And the thing is when you experience these things, it's not to act because of what you're experiencing.
Right. It's to be the observer of the experience. That's what we're here to do. We're having a human experience.
Right.
So that's the whole purpose of it, right? But the wisdom part comes in helping us to respond instead of reacting. That's where wisdom comes in. So some things can make you really, really, really angry. Now, it's not so much that you're angry that's the problem. Is what comes, the actions that follows the anger. Okay? That's where wisdom comes in. And my baby said, allow yourself to feel. But there is a level of wisdom and a level of control, internal will that allows us to choose. Right? That free will is tricky.
Yeah.
It's so tricky.
Yeah.
We talked about free will one time. I think I'm going to go back over and go over what I got to download what that free will really is.
It's not Midnight Gospel.
No. That's a good one too.
Y'all got to wait till the end. Till we get to the end. We're going to tell you which one
Y'all
it is.
are going to love this, man.
Yeah.
So the first one is wrath, right? Which is a course. The wrath is the anger. You know what I'm saying? Then you have the gluttony. That's the second one, right?
Yeah. And the gluttony takes many forms because it can be food, but then it also can be attention because there are certain people who cannot go a day without being a spotlight of something. So gluttony takes a bunch of different forms. Hell, scrolling on your phone nonstop, that can be gluttonous.
Yes.
Yes.
So you again, William talked about balance.
Yes.
Okay. But balance that comes with wisdom. All of these things to get through these courses
takes wisdom.
You need wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay, because you're gonna fail. It's easy to fail. It's so easy to fail. And the last one
can trip.
Ooh, the last one. We're gonna
get into it. But just understand that wisdom is right knowledge applied.
There you go.
Okay.
Not knowledge, but wisdom. Okay. You need the knowledge, but you got to have the wisdom because it's the right application of knowledge. Okay. So after the gluttony, we have envy. Now this one right here. It's another course.
The comparison is the greatest thief of all joy.
All joy. This is a tricky one, the envy one. Very, very tricky. You got to know how to navigate this envy and this jealousy business. You know, I guess there is a certain level of healthy, is it envy or jealousy? One of those are not good. One of those are like really bad because I can't remember which is which.
I would probably say jealousy, but
I think envy. No, I think envy is a bad one. Because envy is the one where you see someone with something, right? You don't want them to have it, right? You go through lengths, maybe even your own demise, to make sure that person does not have that particular thing. So that you can now obtain it and they go without it.
Right.
I think that's envy, right? Now, jealousy is a little different. I think it's a little bit on the healthy side, right? You see someone with something and you're like, shoot, if they can get it, I can get it too. You know, it make you feel some type of way. But it kind of lights inspiration inside of you. So you're not trying to take something away from someone. Right? You're not trying to stop them from growing, but it's kind of like a weird type of inspiration that comes inside of you because you see someone with something, it kind of ignites the power within you, the passion within you to encourage you to get something yourself without sabotaging the other person.
Yeah.
So I think that's jealousy. And so the envy one, that's the one that's like real, like,
What's up?
Yeah, envy's a bad one. Okay, lyrical goddess in his house. That's our soul family right there. Thank you. Okay, so I knew I was going somewhere with that. So envy is the one that you want to really, that's the one you don't dabble in. Leave that alone. Right. Leave that alone.
Yep.
All right, so that's envy, right? So the next course we have is sloth.
Sloth.
Man.
This one, sloth is very tricky because it's a form of laziness, it's a form of procrastination, indecisiveness,
addiction, being addicted to like substances, food, anything in excess that's really going against you.
Right.
Or this is really a sin right here for real. You going against yourself really with this sloth. So in the day-to-day life, addiction, taking part in things that really has nothing to do with your highest good, anything in excess, just really, like my baby said, lazy, procrastination, making excuses all the time, not being productive at all, even if the opportunity comes. That's the bad one, guys. Sloth. And the next one is greed.
Yes.
Ooh, in the life. How many of you know people who are so freaking greedy? I mean, we just talked about them in the beginning of the video. The ones who's running everything and keeping everything for themselves and trying to keep everybody docile. Begins with G and ends with T and got a V in the middle. Right? Greedy. But we know some people who in our lives who are super, super greedy for no reason. You already have so much and you still want more. Then we have lust. Ooh, baby. Lust.
That is a big one. And actually, we're going to do a whole video when it comes to the sexual energy.
Right.
Because it is a very slippery slope. It's almost as dangerous as the last one that we're going to go into, but that's one that is hard for people to counteract because it's so much imagery and things that are just pumped into your face that it's hard to do, but you have to be able to discipline yourself. So
Primordial Goddess is correct. This is beautiful. She said she thinks procrastinating comes with depression and your soul is tired. Precisely.
Yeah.
Precisely. This is why I call these courses. Not sins, but they're courses. I mean, however you pass, if you go against yourself, then you fail the course, and then it'll be a sin, right?
Yeah.
But you can go through an experience and you can really excel, right?
Yes.
So that's why I like calling it the 7 courses instead of the 7 deadly sins, because a sin means that you didn't get through the course.
And you know what? This just came in. I don't want to lose it, so I want to say this real quickly, because the other terminology for sin is when an archer misses his mark. They call it a sin curve. But if you're able, to hold the arrow straight enough, long enough, and hit that mark, it actually propels you and takes you further and farther.
Look at you. Look at that down. Y'all see that? That's called upload. That's an upload.
That's called intuition.
That's intuition.
That's intuition. Wow. Yeah.
Okay, that's deep. Okay, so that's lust. We need to do, you know what? I think we should do videos on individual ones so that we can talk about these courses in life, in everyday life.
Yes.
And really give y'all some tools on how to navigate these courses in everyday life. Because I tell you, sometimes I know when I'm failing. You think I don't know?
Real talk.
I'm always watching myself.
Yeah.
So I know that I'm around a lot of mundane people, and they don't necessarily understand what I'm saying, but I don't care. I'm still telling me, like, listen, I'm not passing this course right here. And they're like, what course are you talking about? I'm just letting you know that there is a very slim possibility that I'm about to pass. I'm just letting you know right now.
Oh, down in flames.
This course right here is tough, and Leisha might not pass it.
And that's where compassion comes in.
Okay, so hey.
Yeah. It's
but
something.
yeah, so that's lust. Now the last one is the one that really got me. This is the last one that really made me want to come on here tonight and share these 7 courses with y'all.
Yeah.
And if none of these didn't get you, this one might. I know for a fact, I could be honest with myself.
It is a trickster.
Trickster.
It is a trickster, which is pride.
Ooh, comes before fall, baby.
Yep, pride comes before a fall. And here's the thing, and once again, if this information has been helpful for you, please drop that donation in via Cashapp, because we don't know how much longer Cashapp going to be around with all these other stuff coming through, and they're trying to shut Cashapp, PayPal, Venmo, all of it. They're trying to shut it down. So send your donations as soon as you can.
Come on, guys. We don't know what's going to happen.
Okay? But here's the thing. Pride is a very slippery slope.
Yes.
Because there's one thing, and actually this is I'm gonna bring something to a point that most people don't think about, and this is when it comes to meditation. Okay? Sometimes when people get to a certain point in their meditation and they feel this euphoria and this bliss, and they think, oh, I've reached samadhi. I've reached enlightenment. I am with the chosen ones.
Look at those
right now.
Look at those
peons below me. They just don't know how to meditate. They can't reach nirvana. You know, that's pretty extreme, but
it's true. And we've seen it with our own eyes. Y'all know what we talking about. Put a one in the chat if y'all seen that. Y'all know what we talking about.
And you know, cause this and you know, when people get a certain amount of knowledge and they know how to do something, and they want to go and flaunt it in front of everybody else's face, and they want to critique everybody else that's going on. And you know, that's one reason why I have mad respect for Brother Panic on Occult Lectures. Because he won't even let you compliment him. He will tear your ass to shreds.
Oh, he would, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't need your praise. I can praise myself. What the fuck's wrong with you? Like, he will go in on you if you try to give him praise, because he knows how pride is a slippery slope.
Right.
Okay?
Very, very slippery slope. So listen, guys, we in church tonight. So we in church. This is our church folks.
Yeah.
So Proverbs 16, guys, verses 18 in the King James version. Pride goes before destruction, or pride comes before a fall. You know, we got to speak multidimensional for people that, you know, we know who our viewers. So pride goes before a fall. Okay, right. And primordial goddess, you got it, baby. Dejanique, you got it. Put Dejanique thing up there. She said pride can make you fail the previous 6 courses in an instant, and that's my point.
Yes,
that's my point. That's why I said wait till I get to pride.
Yeah.
Wait till I get to pride. This can make you fail the other 6 instantaneously. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? That is a part of the reason why in some sense there are certain videos that we don't do, because in a way it seems prideful or boastful, and we're not trying to go down that path. So it's a slippery thing, because we've learned some things and we want to share those things, but we don't want to be the authority figure on any of this. Right. It's us giving you breadcrumbs and telling you to go and do the work for yourself.
Correct the Monday. Now, have y'all ever played Snakes and Ladders? When I was a little girl,
played that in so long.
Man, that used to be my game when I was growing up. Snakes and freaking ladders. Okay, me and my cousins always play Snakes and Ladders, and I will be there getting all excited because I'm up to 75. They're all the way down to 2. They keep getting eaten by the snake, and I'm just lucky. I just keep going up. You know what I'm saying? Man, one time I got to, what was it? When's the last snake? I want to say it's either 99 or 90 something was the last snake. If y'all ever played Snakes and Ladders or Shoots and Ladders, whatever they call it. Yeah. And I got to the last one. My luck. You know that long snake that take your, humble your ass all the way? I was there boasting, oh, you can't even play, you can't beat me. I'm I was going on and on. My cousin was just there humble the whole time. He kept getting eat all the way through, and I just kept going up, missing the snakes. And I knew I was gonna win. I just knew I was gonna win. I got up to the top. Luck had me landing on that last damn snake. Baby, I went all the way down. I think I was... Where does that snake take you? I can't even remember. If it takes you at number 2.
It's been so long, I can't remember.
That's the longest snake on the board. It's the last one. It's the longest one. And it takes you all the way to the bottom. How about my cousin turning around? He won. You see, the pride. You know what I'm saying? Yes. The universe had to humble me. Yeah. Pride comes before a fall. Yeah. But because I was winning the whole time, like she said, the courses, I was going through it smooth. Yeah, I was getting it. I got it. Ooh, I got it. Line after line, I'm getting it. And
therein lies the pride, because you feel like, oh, I've done all of these courses.
Yeah, look at me.
I'm good. Look at me. I went through all 6 of these. Bam, you just went right back down.
Canceled out every course you ever done.
Canceled out every course. But we're not going to hold y'all too much longer. We're going to fill y'all in on this show that we watched on Netflix. Yeah, let them know. Show them. And we're not going to give away the end, because the end, we're not going to spoil it for you.
Oh, y'all in for it. You are in for it when y'all see that.
But just here we go.
Hit up the Cashapp and be like, thank you, Chris and Leisha.
Right. This show right here. Let me not make that so big. Okay. Why is it like that? Let's do this. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Yeah, so this show right here on Netflix is called Dragon's Dogma.
Man.
Okay. This show right here, it's a cartoon. It is a cartoon, and that should let me...
Don't even pay attention to the cartoon, because you guys are going to get so much information in this.
Let me move that out the way.
It doesn't even matter. Now I'm looking for cartoon stuff, because it seems like...
Oh, not Dragon's Dogma. Is that the one?
Yeah, it's Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah, it is Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So as you can see, this is a cartoon. Okay, it's an anime, and they are dropping stuff from the beginning, and y'all, you got to go and see it. You got to go and watch that one. That one is wow.
It is definitely amazing, guys. And it'll make you really think. It'll make you ponder. Mm-hmm. Go through each one and get a pen. Watch, because we watch videos a little different, you know?
Yeah.
Get you a pen, a paper. You could use your notepad, but it's better when you actually get to write it down, you know? Mm-hmm. And watch it and see what you take away from it. Look at your life. You know what I'm saying? See what lessons that you take away from each of those courses, because they're courses, man. Mm-hmm. They're courses. And the only sin in those courses is when you go against yourself.
Yep.
We gotta go through these courses. It doesn't matter. We're gonna meet these courses. It's just a matter of how you handle it. You're gonna learn some stuff going through these. It's really, really eye-opening.
Yeah. And there's some things to really help you in going through in these courses. Meditating is going to be one. Mm-hmm. And once again, I'm going to do a video for our Patreons on this, I can't say new level of meditating, but it is a ancient way of meditating. And it's, to be honest, it's not as spectacular as it seems.
Right.
But it is, because one of the things that we have to do in the age that we're in right now is that we have to return back to our old ways of doing things.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think it is so significant that when I started, not so much started my spiritual journey, but shortly after Alicia and I got together, you know, I went through this whole process of claiming my sovereignty. Oh,
man, that was some work. They didn't want to let you go, babe. They was holding on to you like right on rice. Where you going?
And here's one thing that came to me or reminded me was that the first thing that I did is that I put all government entities on notice, and I put it in the record. You can go to the public record and probably find it when you go and look for my information. But what I put on that declaration is that I am now returning to my old ways of my ancestors. That's what I put in the letter. I said that I am making this declaration that I am no longer participating in this system, and I am returning to the old ways of my ancestors.
Wow, I just had that conversation with Zion today.
And it hit me on how significant that is. Yeah. Not knowing all the stuff that was going to go down in 2020. Like, I did, what was that, 2017, 2018 when I did that?
2018, I think.
2018.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, just a quick side note before we get out of here, is that you have been guided along your spiritual journey all along. You have never been alone. Just like you were saying earlier, there's, what did you say about alone and
lonely?
Lonely, yes. Mm-hmm. You're never alone, okay? When I look back now, there's so many signs and symbols and things and coincidences and synchronicities that were just nudging me to do certain things. Right. And case in point, I was strongly led to leave one particular job. I didn't know why I was having all these anxiety things, but once it came to light, I was like, oh, that's now right. I see why I had to get out of there. But when it comes to your ascension, if you step back and look, there's so many angels and guides that came your way that were showing you what things to do, what not to do, which roads to take. Mm-hmm. But we're so caught up in
the distractions, the delusion.
Exactly, that is the best word.
Mm-hmm. That everything seems cluttery and you can't really hear the stillness within the noise. right?
Come on now. Come on. Right on
Solange!
time. Just.
Oh my God, where have you been, princess?
Well, we'll just say,
just be still and know,
Yeah.
William, you on point tonight.
Yes.
Oh my God, Solange, my beautiful soul tribe, where have you been, baby?
Yes.
Ooh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
William says the hardest thing to do is say nothing at all. Oh, see, that's a challenge. That's a challenge for me.
Yeah. And I've been kicking around this and I don't even know if I want to actually commit to it or not, which is taking a week of silence.
Well, I can't do that. I don't sign up for stuff that I know I'm going to fail right away. I'm probably going to have to go maybe say 10 words. I'm going to have to build my way up to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't fool myself.
Yeah,
you could probably do it.
Yeah, it's one thing I've been seriously thinking about doing it, but I would have to let everybody around me know that's what I'm doing.
You doing a week of what you gonna do? Write stuff on a piece of paper?
Maybe, I'm not sure. It's just a thought, but it's just because of this comment, it kind of brought it back up. I was like, should I?
You know what? That would be nice. I really would like to do that.
A week of silence.
Mm-hmm. I would like to do that, but I won't be able to be around people.
Yeah, that's the difficult part.
Because I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something.
Don't push the wrong button.
Right, I'm gonna say something.
Okay, so that's what we wanted to share with you all this evening. We ain't on here too long. We're about to hit the 2-hour
mark. Oh, somebody said, who was that down there? Dejanique, she said, when I'm home, I really talk. At work, I don't speak much either. I drive for work, so I age a lot of time to myself, which I like. Okay, so hey. I mean, that is a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing when you can really enjoy your solace. I like my solace, and I enjoy my solitude. But sometimes I have to be around people.
Right.
And it's a little challenging sometimes to.
All right. Now, I know we're super late in saying this, but if you are new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button, because if you're new to this channel and you've been sitting here for this past hour and 25 minutes and you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what you doing. You lying to yourself. You want to be here. You want to be a part of this family. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Definitely share this information out to as many people as possible, because we want to put this on the table to let everybody know from this point on that there is no more excuses to know that you are your own savior, to know what these hollow days are really about,
right?
And that there are things that you can actually do to minimize and even get to a point of eliminating any type of suffering that you experience on this world.
Facts. And I like what William just said.
What's that?
He said we must speak to each other in love. I like that. That's beautiful. That's coming from the heart space.
Yeah.
And we were actually talking about that today, having a really big conversation about living from the heart space. And I was driven to do some work today around the heart area, like really, really big nudge to do 3 things today around the heart area. And I tell you, it felt really beautiful. It felt so beautiful contacting 3 people and being intentional, loving to 3 people. And that felt wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we must speak to each other in love. That's, coming from a higher perspective, faster frequency.
Yeah.
When the frequency travels faster, you get more done, and it's felt more.
Yeah. And some people may say that that's challenging, but it's challenging up to a certain point, because let's just say that there's somebody who you don't like. They did something to you. Now understand that what they did to you is done.
It's finished.
It's done.
Finito.
And also the way that you feel about it, it's not going to last forever.
Right. And so, it's now a memory.
It's now a memory. So we can't base our actions off of something that happened in the past, and also based off of something that was that is temporary. Now, of course, when we move forward, we kind of keep these things in our mind to as far as navigating this world, because you got to know that in the jungle there are tigers in there, so you can't just run around and just think you're gonna run and be free and ain't no tiger go come get you. But that's one program that actually serves us, but there's some other programs that don't serve us,
right,
as far as looking at people as far as their skin color and treating them a certain way, or just because they decide to call themselves a man today when they were a woman yesterday, then you want to treat them differently. We have to be careful of that, but just understand that it is possible to speak to people in love, especially when we understand that whatever biases that we have that is causing us, whatever biases that we have that we're using to justify our reasons to not talk in love, most of the times they're not something that's going to last forever, and it's something that is fleeting and it's already done. And when it comes to the past, there's nothing you can do.
And a lot of it comes from pride. I would say like Lysol. 99.9% of that comes from pride. Okay, thinking that you're better than someone, or I have this more than that, and and it might be the case. I mean, you listen. If I have 10 apples and you have 5, I got more than you.
Yeah,
I do have more apples than you. But I think the trouble comes in when you use it to like taunt and to, make the other person feel some type of way, like on purpose. Because sometimes we are just living our lives and we are not doing these things on purpose. We could be minding our business with our 10 bag of apples.
Yep.
Okay. Not even paying attention that this other person has 5, and they're, really dealing with their internal demons on their own. You don't got control over that.
No.
Right? But when you're doing something on purpose with intention, that's different. Just wanted to clear that up, because we can't control everything.
Yeah. And you know what? One of the other things that really reminded me today, and see, when you experience truth, not only do you see it in writings or just in thoughts, but you actually see it in life. Okay? Now, this comment here, the heart is the first organ to develop.
It's true.
That's where the soul lives in the body. If your heart is blocked, your energy won't flow through your body.
That is true.
Now, here's something, the other reason why we are really celebrating this day. Because if you notice, when we go into spring, we go from death to life. And you can see it in the trees, because when a tree dies, it turns brown in most cases. But when it comes back to life, it turns green. And what is the real color of the heart?
It ain't this.
It ain't red.
Baby.
Because your heart chakra is green.
All the way through.
We're talking about a rebirth of the heart.
Come again.
That's one of the other things that's really significant about this Easter hollow day.
What they want to put people in a hollow days.
But this is a celebration day. This is not a holiday. This is a celebration of the evolving of your own heart and opening up to the true you who has always been there, but just been packed underneath all this
stuff, packing all his programs in there and just keep stuffing you down further and further until you don't even know who the hell you are.
Right.
But it's okay.
So.
Twin Flames Unite is here. Dun, 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 dun.
All right.
Get
so cool things. So y'all kind of get insight on some things that we're going to be going into in the future, because we're past gaining knowledge, knowing about conspiracies and things of that nature. It's about application. Because we have a small window of, and when I say small window, I'm talking about as far as when we're talking about higher level beings, the life that we experience on here is very, very short. It's that dash. You ever wonder why on the tombstone the dash doesn't go all the way out for miles? It's only like that short.
Wow. And look at Primordial Goddess again. She said that they made us associate love with the red, which is the root chakra, keep you in your lower nature.
Exactly.
Instead of the green. This is correct.
Yeah.
This is very correct. They know what they're doing. These people are very strategic.
Yes.
Very, very strategic. I think Lyrical Goddess said spiritual superiority complex. Oh, yeah. That's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything else. But what we just went into is just a brief introduction on some things that we're going to be diving deeper into in the future. So just understand that there's what we're going to be touching on is really application of knowing self. And in knowing self, it's going to take some meditation, and it's also going to take some sexual transmutation. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all probably excited about that sexual transmutation. Y'all some dirty folk.
Right. And we're not talking about no funny stuff.
We're not talking about the funny stuff.
Your mind out the
We're
gutter.
talking about something that is truly holy and sacred that we're going to be jumping into.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, one of the things we're going to go into is going to be lucid dreaming.
Oh, yeah. We've been meaning to really dive into that.
So we're going to go into it. But once again, you all's donation is a part of the fuel that keeps us going in doing videos like this, because once again, we got a full house. We got like six people in this house, 2 dogs.
Yeah.
4 out of the 6 people are working. Yeah. So it's like we
always going. We're constantly going. And to be honest with you, we are working on really getting back into doing more videos, doing more studies, bringing more insight, so y'all donations, it does help us to do that. And the more that we work collectively together, it's the more that we can actually be on here. That's one of the reasons why we're not on here as much as we would like to be, is that our energy is dispersed other places. Right. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And believe me, we're doing our part to really reel it in so that we can do our own self-actualization. And in order to really do that self-actualization, that root chakra has to be secure. And so so that's it. Go ahead, guys, and if you haven't become a member of our Patreon, this is a perfect time to join. Again, my baby said it's very, very small. It's nothing crazy. We still have videos on our YouTube, or did we move them all over to Patreon? The ones that are on Patreon are on Patreon
only. Okay, all right.
Yeah, so there's some videos that are on Patreon, but then there's some. So it's a mixture.
On the subscribe on YouTube.
And actually, let me.
What is it? I think it's like $2.99 to be a supporter, something like that.
Oh no, that was the YouTube subscription thing. That was $2.99.
YouTube acts weird, so
yeah.
They act really weird.
Hey, why can't I? Oh, you know what? I'm trying to spell this, and it's right in front of my face. Like, what is wrong with your boy?
It's okay. It's okay.
Hold on.
Oh, you're just about to the Patreon?
So they can see this. Okay, that's back at 100%. So let me go here.
Oh, that's us right there.
And trying to find the tiers. But let me share this with y'all so real quickly. I'm going to do here. Actually, no, I don't want to share that just yet. There we go.
Okay, there you go. Okay, there you go.
Okay. So boom, that's us on Patreon. Okay. We hadn't done anything elaborate, but you can find us there. Once again, this link that is showing on the screen will take you right there. It's in the description. And you can see that there's different levels. So like the lowest one is like $11 Then there's the 22 and then the 55. And so as we get more people in, we're going to be expanding a lot more, doing some more things, actually opening up either a Discord or even opening back up the Telegram group that we had at one point in time. So we can actually get together and do more in-depth discussions because from what I've experienced, and you can correct me and let me know if you feel anything different, which is that the true enlightenment doesn't come in books. It comes from the meditations and the pondering on the information that actually brings in that gnosis to really help you know and experience.
It comes in waves. It comes in waves. Different waves. That's what I've noticed. And it's not scheduled. It doesn't come like on a schedule. Right. It's a frequency. It's the only way I can really describe it. It's a frequency. And whenever you're tapped in, whatever frequency that you're tapped into, that is literally what you're going to receive. For me, and I can tell the different, you can feel, like right now I'm at a place where I can feel frequencies. I can feel vibrations. I know what level I'm vibrating on. I keep myself in the present moment so that I can feel my vibration. I can feel my resonance, so that when I surround myself, with my surroundings, the people that I'm around, I know that they are literally kind of like a reflection of me in a sense. You know what I'm talking about? Because I understand I'm co-creating, and if I feel that my environment is showing me a frequency that I don't necessarily want to be around, I'm gonna change my temperature. And then I have actually noticed that when I'm in that state and I realize that, hey, I need to change the temperature, and I do, the environment starts changing. The people around me, they actually their resonance starts shifting. Yeah. So I guess that's where I'm at right now. Right. Is being able, instead of saying, oh, I don't like these low vibrational people. You know what I mean? Like, they vibrated so low. Well, maybe that's because, you're a part of you are attracting. So how can I shift internally so that I can actually be the thermometer and I can kind of like shift things. There you go. And that's what I've been working on, and it's been working as of recent.
Gotcha. All right. So that's what we have for y'all this evening. We appreciate y'all for hanging in for this amount of time. And yes, William, we have seen.
That is nice.
Yeah, the Samadhi.
4 years ago. Yeah. What's that Gaia thing? We used to watch all them documentaries. I look at Gaia for an entire year. And I watched all them documentaries on Gaia when I was first coming through my spiritual awakening. Yeah.
And the goal is to experience samadhi all the time. Because and this is the part when I talk about when it comes to meditation, so many people, and I'm not saying this to be judgy, so many people, and this is myself included, whenever I did a meditation, and think that, oh, that felt so good. I just got this insight and I feel so blissed out. But then I go outside and that bliss goes away.
Right.
It's
like you're treating it like a drug now. Now it's like I got to get the hit. I got to meditate,
Right. And so the goal is to be able to have that type of awareness all the time.
Yeah.
And, I was listening to I'm going to say this and then we're going to get out. I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about consciousness, and in a nutshell, they were talking about how do you know that you are truly awake? And the lady said, you will know that you are truly awake when you are fully conscious in your dream world. Because it is very difficult. And I tested the lady out on it. I was like, let me experience this for myself. This can't be this damn hard. And she was like, you have to be conscious of everything that you're doing, from conscious of how the seat feels and how your shoes feel on your feet while you're in the room talking to somebody, and you're able to actively listen to everything that they're saying and not just space off and go somewhere else. Like, you're currently present. You're conscious and aware of everything that is going on around you. But in order to do that from day to day, I think the most that I've gone is in spans is like 5 minutes of really being conscious and aware of what's going on in the moment, and then it fleets and it leaves. And so when she made that comment about, if you're not fully aware while you're dreaming, you ain't woke.
Now that hit deep. That hit deep, because we had said it in one of our videos. The trick is to be awake in the dream and awake in the dream. You know, the American dream. So we have to be not only awake here, but awake there. If you're awake here, then you're going to be awake here, and vice versa. So I agree with that.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, it was like it was a real gut check. It was like, damn, I ain't as woke as I think I am. I mean, I remember my dreams, but I ain't conscious
in the dream enough
all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's all we got right now. We're about to be out. We're gonna go and enjoy.
Oh, it's 1:44. Let's go ahead and
let's go now. Let's
all right.
end
We
the
love
video.
y'all. Peace out.